Hello everyone and welcome back to World of Warships. This is Captain Keys. So today we're not going to be watching me play. This is going to be a clanmate of mine and good friend MCAT X5 in the Farragut. We're on the map Strait and this is ranked Season 7, Tier 6 ranked. The Farragut is the Tier 6 American destroyer. And to be honest, when I first played the Farragut, first unlocked it, I wasn't terribly happy with it. It was bigger, it was a little clumsier than the Nicholas, which preceded it, and it wasn't really any better. The Nicholas had more torpedoes, 12 instead of 8. The Farraguts do go a little faster and a little further, but the Nicholas just had this fun knife-fighting YOLO capability that, I don't know, I just felt like I lost in the Farragut. The Nicholas also had significantly better concealment. I think the Farragut has stock 7.6, and the Nicholas had 6.7, I want to say, so almost a kilometer better. And it used to be that you didn't really gain anything by getting to the Farragut, but Wargaming swung the nerf bat on the Nicholas, much to my chagrin, and increased the reload time of the main guns to, I think, 7 seconds. So going to the Farragut gets that down to something like 4 seconds, so almost doubling your damage per minute. Very, very significant upgrade on the guns. As I said, you do pay for it with concealment, but, you know, beggars and choosers and all that. So MCAT straight up fires away his speed boost and charges right into B. Damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead, in the spirit of Admiral Farragut. Now, this is what the Farragut is made to do. It is made to be first into the cap, finding out what's there, and killing it. The Farragut is such a good knife fighter at Tier 6. There is no other destroyer that can match it, period. The Ernst Geda, the German Tier 6, kind of, with the higher alpha damage on its guns than the Hydro, but the Farragut gun power is just ridiculous, so you do not want to be sitting close to one of these things. So MCAT charges right into the cap, wants to spot torpedoes, spot enemy destroyers. Cap's not being contested yet, but he is lit up on RPF. Oh, he's detected. He's being targeted by 5 enemy ships, and it's the Hatsuharu, so he opens up on him with the guns. Now, he sees a Gnevny, and you do not want to be fighting one of those in a Farragut at range, so he backs off, but he takes a hit, loses his engine, and immediately pops his smoke. Now notice he's holding his repair, holding it. Now he's safely inside the smoke. He triggers his repair, because you don't want to be sitting there with a couple of fires burning or your engine out while trying to lay a smoke screen and not able to do anything about it. Gets the engines up, starts speeding away to give a larger area for the smoke screen. If you're in a US destroyer and you pop your smoke and sit still, I will hate you forever. They have a 26-second smoke deployment time. It means you can lay really long lines of smoke for your team, and you should do this all the time. Anyway, notice in chat he types last until 16:30, so if you have your game timer in the corner of your eye, 16:30, that's when the smoke will last until. Because he has the smoke timer on his screen, which you can enable in the options. It's not a mod or anything. But his team does not. They don't know. So then his other teammate says, Iron, who is referring to Iron Duke 17, can you extend the smoke forward when it dies? And he says, sure. And MCAT says 1 minute till fade. Now notice where he's put himself. Out in front to spot torpedoes. Again, team play. His team can sit in smoke all they want, but when they have 3 enemy destroyers, they can spam torpedoes in here and wipe out his whole team. So those torpedoes were spotted by the scout plane, but MCAT is getting out in front, out into the cap. He knows that if any destroyer pokes out, he can outgun them. He has his whole team to back him up, so he's not sitting in the smoke like a coward. He's out in front. He's spotting torpedoes. He's seeing if any destroyers are trying to sneak around. Eventually, he withdraws into the smoke because another destroyer is going forward, that Shinonome. Bayern is under a withering amount of fire from the entire team. Gets a lucky fire on the Bayern there. I mean, that guy is taking a lot of hits. He gives a 10-second warning on his smoke, and then Diax asks Iron Duke to smoke, and he does. So the Shinonome fires up his smoke. It's not as good as the US smoke, but it's not as bad as the German smokes, which are the shortest in the game, which is part of their balancing factor. Oh, Shinonome pops up. MCAT switches target. Farragut arcs, allow him to shoot over this island. That's another thing people dislike about the Farragut. The guns have a very low speed on their shells, so it is very hard to hit targets at range with the Farragut, and that can be a bit of a challenge for newer players who aren't used to the USN destroyer line. So someone got detonated in chat, some fun and engaging game mechanics there, and MCAT's now pushing it again, gets detected again, starts looking around, nope, undetected, okay. As spec'd, his Farragut has, I believe, a 6.9, 6.8 kilometer concealment. So his smoke is back up. He knows the Shinonome smoke is not very long lasting, so he goes and pops it and lays another line. You can overlap smoke screens like this. Notice his engine boost is up and he's running full speed ahead with his smoke running to try and get the longest possible line. Again, this is a tactic that US destroyers use in ranked and in competitive play. Stay moving fast so you can lay a big line of smoke. Because the smoke really isn't for you. I mean, as a destroyer, oh, hello Ganevny, a couple of cheeky shots. As a destroyer, you have good concealment. If you have a problem, you just run away. Your team doesn't always have that luxury in cruisers and battleships. So MCAT takes a hit, loses his engine, but he's running last stand, which every destroyer captain should do. And so he's able to kind of sneak and weave away. He's not triggering damage control because he's still detected. Holding his damage control, now undetected. Wait for it, last salvo. Now he triggers damage control. It wasn't urgent that he get his engine fixed. He wasn't trying to dodge torpedoes or something like that. It just, he held it in case he got set on fire, lost his rudder, lost a gun, something like that. Discipline under fire, very important in the Farragut, and in any real brawling ship. At this point, the enemy team has lost their Byron due to all those fires, who is now raging in chat. Sorry guys, that's what happens in ranked when you are the only one spotted and the entire team is sitting there in smoke with HE loaded. You get a lot of fires. So there's an enemy Cleveland behind that island trying to do what Clevelands do, which is lob shells over. Not working out too well for him. MCAT types another warning in chat, 15 seconds on the smoke. Nuremberg is sitting kind of angled away, so he'll probably be alright. Torpedoes coming in. He and his friendly Farragut are trying to get back up to the front to spot torpedoes. You could call this a bit of a misplay that he ran all the way back there and wasn't out there to spot torpedoes, but he wasn't ready to lay a smoke screen, and they have good fighter coverage, and the Shinonome is up there, so, I'm alright with that play. Shinonome has a much better stealth than the Farragut anyway, so it's a little better suited to being out in front to spot torpedoes. It's just, if it spots an enemy ship, well, Shinanome's guns have excellent alpha damage, but the damage per minute is pretty bad. Ganevny pops up, fires a few cheeky shots at him. Enemy Leander pops up, and since the Leander's a bigger target, MCAT switches to him. And I would have probably continued firing on the Ganevny, but MCAT, I think, makes the right choice here because the Leander is slowing down to smoke. He's vulnerable to extra fire. He gets 2 fires on that. Fire RNGesus is with him today. You can see his damage counter in the top right, though, stops ticking, so the Leander has repaired. He is still shooting out of that smoke, though, and MCAT is still detected, so he's weaving around here, holding his fire, trying to get stealth back up. MCAT's team has held B and C point, and the enemy can't really do too much about it. They have been stymied in every attempt. Iron Duke and the Shinonome continuing to spam torpedoes, and oh, look at that. Torpedoes from an unexpected angle. So the enemy Farragut was last spotted in Foxtrot 7 or so. So they know that they've got a Farragut trying to flank them, and that's actually a good move from the enemy Farragut. Oh, Shinonome blind torps the Ganevny in smoke, so that's their long-range support taken out. Enemy Leander pops back up, and yep, here comes the pain. I'm not exactly sure why. Maybe he got flushed out by the smoke, or by the torpedoes, I don't know. But anyway, Leander is taking hits. His name is Leroy Jenkins, so maybe he's trying to live up to it, but the Nuremberg punches his ticket. Nuremberg is reversing, and oh no, torp wall. So this, I thought, was going to be the end of the Nuremberg, and nope, torpedoes ran out. All skill, no luck. MCAT types LOL in chat, and yeah. Yeah, Dax says, I'm so lucky. Yeah, probably. But, you know, you win some and you lose some like that. I think even if Dax had taken those torpedoes, this game is pretty much decided. The enemy team is down 5 ships to 6. excuse me, down 5 ships. MCAT's team has only lost 1 destroyer. And then, yep, there's Iron Duke in chat. This is how you teamwork. And MCAT agrees, and I agree too. This has been a very good example of covering each other with smokes, getting out in front to spot torpedoes, holding strategic locations, and putting the strengths of your ship to work. Shinonome pops up trying to bail from his smoke, and then he goes back undetected. But, yep, blind fire from the allied Farragut takes him out, and now all that's left is the Cleveland. More torps coming in, but spotted early enough, not a big deal. More rage in chat from the enemy team. Ugh. Yeah. So, yeah, very masterfully done game. This is how you teamwork. Now, I want you to notice MCAT's damage numbers. 21,000 damage. That's below average for the Farragut. And let me tell you, having played with him, he is an above average player. Let me just put it this way. If you see him on the enemy team and he's in his Fletcher, just go ahead and expect the inevitable Kraken, because it's probably going to happen. He is frighteningly efficient in his Fletcher and his USN destroyers. This game, though, only 21,000 damage. Does that mean he played a bad game? No. If he had been running and gunning and gotten himself killed and gotten triple that damage, then it would be a worse game than what he did here. And Cleveland goes down. And they win the game convincingly because of good teamwork. So he ranks up to 9 with this one, and there's a post-battle results screen. Yeah, I get some Halloween camo. 168,000 credits, 2,400 experience. Notice where he was on his team. 1,066 base XP. He was not even top half of his team, but that's just because the game, XP-wise, doesn't really count what matters in teamwork for better or worse. Credits and XP-wise, yeah, running a premium account. He nets about 92,000. Nothing special, but he wasn't really looking for anything special. So yeah, the Farragut and teamwork. The Farragut relies, or rather, to be truly effective, the Farragut relies on selfless thinking and focusing on your allies more than just about any other destroyer. It's a good ship, but on its own, it's, or rather played selfishly, it will never be as good as it could be if you work with your team and put its strengths to effect to help them out. Anyway, if you play in ranked, and you're going to take the Farragut, communicate, smoke up your allies, spot torpedoes. That's what the Farragut is best at. Anyways, I hope you have enjoyed this commentary and discussion of the USS Farragut in Ranked. This has been Captain Keys. We will see you again next time. Good luck and fair seas.